That's where the blame gets to lie. But we did redeem Scrape later that evening on the defect run, so there was a successful use of the card, which I think at least worth celebrating. And I'm not too upset with Foreign Influence after we had the collector bonus Foreign Influence Watcher run the other day. Had a great deck last night with a bunch of card removals, Clash, Iron Waves, and a Kunai on Ironclad. I find it so difficult to get Kunai to do anything on Ironclad, so that is really cool to hear, English Narwhal. How'd I get on if I boss swapped Defect into Coffee Dripper? You're gonna want a bunch of block cards. I would be giving high priority to Auto Shields, Leap, Charge Battery, and Equilibrium, and possibly upgrading them. The front-loaded block to help mitigate your chip damage. Keep your eye out for self-repair, keep your eye out for any sort of, health restoration relics. But Coffee Dripper starts on any class are pretty manageable, I find. I certainly prefer it to Runic Dome start, or to Ectoplasm start. Love this elite path. We can hit up the Burning Elite, get a couple fires, and then take on 2 more. And on Watcher, that's pretty reasonable. Hits an early shop, so maybe I'm taking 250 gold. I'm going to take 250 gold. Don't usually like curse starts, but I'll make an exception in this case. Make an exception in this case. Quite happily. Well, there's an immediate hit point cost to that curse. So we didn't draw the Eruption because of the Writhe. Even on the lowest Ascensions, taking a curse start can result in immediate hit point loss. That is definitely good to know. So the least we can take is 5. Ooh, Indignation versus Empty Fist. I'm always happy with a first floor Empty Fist. It just does, especially if you can afford the upgrade, which we would probably do that before the Burning Elite. Just does so much damage. Alternately, another way to get into Wrath, a potential way to apply Vulnerable. I do like that. Take the Indignation. And I am Am I willing to take Warp Tongues? Here's also where the curse start becomes a problem, because now we can't remove both of them, right? I mean, I'm still gonna take the Warp Tongues. Just be greedy. It's fine. Now I can buy the signature move, because I have so many curses that I'm never gonna draw multiple attacks in the same turn, right? Like a signature move and a pen nib? That's kind of cool. I can copy the signature move. Okay, maybe that might be a bit silly. That might be a bit silly. Considering this Like Water, if you're in Calm, gain 5 block, we could even pair it with the Tranquility. But if I am buying signature move, I'm actually strongly considering not removing a curse and removing a strike instead, and just living with these 2 curses. With the intent being that the signature move will make up for everything? Is that gonna work? I don't know that that's gonna work. What if I remove Eruption? I think we would just remove a strike. No TBH, but let's try. I like that. Like where your head's at. What one more combat before the Burning Elite? Probably. Let's take this Protect, so that I don't get murdered. So far, so good. So far, so good. Simmering Fury would let me remove Eruption. Although I don't necessarily want to draw 2 more cards. Yes, I do. Take a Simmering Fury. We'll do it. How much better would Signature Move be if it didn't count other copies of Signature Move? Definitely a little bit. Definitely at least a little bit. Okay, so we actually just guaranteed murder this thing next turn. Fighting the Elite soon. I would like the Pen Nib to be on 8, so I want to play 3 attacks. 1. Casual 80 damage. Ooh, Liquid Memories is gonna allow us to do some hot nonsense. Alpha is a way for this deck to do more damage without interfering with Signature Move. Although... And we're gonna want Scry anyway to get rid of these stupid curses. What if we had an Alpha here? I wonder if we add an Alpha here. I don't want a Wheel Kick, that's just going to make Signature Move unusable. By virtue of being a 2-cost attack that also draws more cards. I have 3 ways to get into Wrath and 1 way to not get into Wrath, so it's either Alpha or skip, realistically. Let's add an Alpha, question mark, and see how that goes. Good luck to me. Boy. Ha 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 ha! Frickin' got him! Good job, Signature Move. You did the thing. Ooh, Evaluate. Good block card. Yeah, that turn 1 was definitely a little spooky. With the Liquid Memories, I was pretty sure I would be able to do something reasonably well. Glad that we drew the Signature Move when we did, though, for sure. I'll take this Evaluate. Adding Insights gives me better manipulation of the draw, and that's good with Alpha. That's going to be good with Signature Move as well. Cool. Grab an upgrade on. Should make my blocking a bit better. Let's get the Evaluate upgraded. Gains +4 block on a card I want to be playing pretty much all the time. Go for an event here. Bottled Lightning. We could bottle our Alpha. Bottled Protect is kind of cool. Or I can just take the blue key. Bottling Simmering Fury is questionable. Wrath on turn 2? Don't know that I want that. Usually turn 2 is a turn you're getting attacked by opponents. Alpha upgrade is an 8, yeah, so bottling the Alpha is the same thing as upgrading it, essentially.
Commander, one of our most valued supporters, says continued support.
Thank you so much for the 8 months.
Project.
Heckin' appreciated. As for the upgrade Eruption and upgrade Burning Piggy, I'm thinking about, rather than upgrading the Eruption, that we're going to remove the Eruption entirely, because we have 2 better ways to get into Wrath Stance and Simmering Fury and an Indignation. And just removing it outright makes Signature Move a lot easier to land. Meditate will definitely be a good pickup in this deck, for sure. For sure. Just gonna take the blue key. We can upgrade the Alpha if we need to. And yeah, there goes that Eruption. Goodbye. Toodaloo. Alpha will work pretty well against Lagavulin here. Potentially. I might just... Not might. I will... Oh, wow. I do how much damage? With signature move? You mean to tell me it does 120 damage? And instantly kills the sleeping Lagavulin? Holy moly. Okay, no more curses. I'm pretty okay with that. I'm pretty okay with that. Don't mind a second protect. Don't mind an empty mind. Omamori is actually extra interesting here with the 2 curses already in the deck, because we now have the option to remove these curses by transforming them. Died as he lived, asleep. Yeah, I actually really like a second protect. Quite a bit. I might even upgrade those. 16 block. How do I feel about an 8 alpha? Eh. It's such a risky play. I like it, though. But I like it. It's been the bad kind of risky, unfortunately. I do need to... Let's see, we're drawing... Guaranteed the signature move if I play Simmering Fury. So I should play that. We'll block with a block potion here. Strike signature move will kill. Cool. We'll just take 14. And then we kill it. Easy peasy. Dreamcatcher. Whenever you rest, we can add a card to the deck. If we were blocking enough, Wave of the Hand could be a great source of a weaken, which I do appreciate. This is weird. We're like not spending time in Calm Stance. We have all these ways to get into Wrath to make the signature move hit harder. Most of the time, I would usually prefer this deck to have 2 copies of Like Water instead of what it has currently, instead of all the Wrath thing. But the Wrath is working for now. For now. Dicor! Why don't you see many teachers who are cross-eyed? Because they have to be able to control their pupils. It's part of the job. Okay, we can get a free golden idol here with Omamori. We'll do that. We'll do that. Boo this man! Boo. Okay, no alpha yet. It's fine though. Here, sir, your Twitch stream has offended me on such a level I cannot possibly express. So what is this? I want to go like Wave of the Hand, defend, beta signature move. That's 6 energy. I can do that with Energy Potion and Miracle. But I really just need to get Omega in play and we'll win. So let's try to save our potion, at the very least. Just a few turns a week in there. About a little bit. us forever to draw Omega. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But with Omega in play, we now deal 50 damage per turn. Dang this strike. Well, strike signature move does totally kill this nerd. GG. Ooh. Man, we are well familiar with the raw power that is Blasphemy's signature move. With a pen nib especially, that's extra dirty. Otherwise, I really do like Vault for helping us get set up here. Helps us put Alpha in play, help us draw to, helps us, you know, deal damage once Omega's down, helps us get our Protects in hand. Works well with Wave of the Hand. Take an extra turn. Oh, and a Pandora's box. Interesting. Interesting options. Black Star makes elites drop extra relics. Philo Stone is extra strength for enemies, but extra energy for us. And Pandora's box will transform all the strike and defend cards in the deck into who knows what. We're blocking pretty reasonably well without them. But I don't know. Might just be a Philo Stone here. We have very good block. I don't think I'm going to take a Black Star. Given that elites are a little questionable at the moment. We really struggled to play a lot of what we have off of just 3 energy. Yeah, let's take the Philo Stone. Let's take the Philo Stone. So many 2-cost cards in this deck that it feels pretty tough to not increase our energy gains. Yeah, because now I can go like Alpha Vault. Love it. Do I dare an Indignation? I don't think so. The next turn I want to be able to Omega signature move to get a kill. Wait, that's only 90 damage? Yeah, 90 damage kills. Okay. But I do need to draw them both, and that requires... Well, not requires, but incentivizes me then to play Evaluate. Cool. Yeah. Wait. I can't play the signature move. Oh no! Wait, can I just maybe block this then? Blocking seems reasonable. Protect, protect. Pixeloids FM, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome on in, everybody. We're slaying some spires today. Working towards what I could describe as the Ladder Streak Challenge, where the goal is to beat this game on every single difficulty level back-to-back in one continuous win streak. Hope your stream was lovely. So I can either Energy Potion to get a kill right now, or I can try to not do that. But what if I go... Protect Simmering Fury? That could backfire, right? Well, even if it does, I have the Energy Potion to bail out. We'll go like this, then. Take 3. And try to get a signature move kill here. Success. 3 attacks are not bad. A little bit of scry goes a long way, truthfully. When we've got 2 curses in the deck. If I complete the ladder streak, does that mean I'll also have the fastest speed run? I suppose, like, if you do something for the first time ever, then you're... It is also technically the fastest somebody has ever done it, right? I'll avoid those. Hey, card removals. Yes, I would love 2 more of those. It might be time to remove the pain. The pain is annoying. Put the pain first. And then at the store we can remove another card, which might be a strike. Apotheosis, upgrade all your cards? Interesting. With the Warp Tongs, doesn't actually feel that good. And this is looking to be a fairly small set of cards as well. Alt seems nice, given how much Wrath I have. What about Orange Pellets? We play a power attack and skill in the same turn, remove all our debuffs. I don't actually have any powers currently. Why remove a strike over a curse? I can play signature move if there's a curse in my hand, but I cannot play signature move if there's a strike in my hand. Is ultimately the reasoning there, pretty much. Take bandage up to try to heal a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. If I had a coffee dripper, I might actually more seriously consider that bandage up. But let's definitely remove... Let's get the Ride out, actually. Get both curses gone now. If we encounter the Jack Stealer, I'll regret that. Do I want orange pellets? Do I want Bag of Marbles? Not really. It's nice for the artifact removal. Matters for Wave of the Hand. Orange Pellets does remove the debuff from fasting. Yes, it does. We'll take an Orange Pellets. I don't actually have enough attacks to consistently proc this, even once I do get powers, but there's definitely a world where it ends up pretty useful. Chonk. Alt plus. Gain 4 block if you're in Wrath, gain 14 additional block. Yeah, I'll take that. So much Wrath in this deck. Scaling the city, you notice a wall covered in the writing of ancients. You can either remove a card from our deck or upgrade all of our strikes and defends, which will cause the Warp Tongs to randomly upgrade cards other than strikes and defends. So we're getting 7 upgrades. The removal does... A removal is nice. I really like getting these defends upped. For sure. And redirecting the Warp Tongs. And that should give me enough of a power boost that we're more likely to be able to take on 3 elites here. Which feels pretty good. What about 4 elites? I'm in. I'm in. Oh yeah, so we go Indignation, Strike you, Miracle, Signature move. I can even Liquid Memory as the signature move and win this fight right now. On turn 1 here. If I'm willing to use a potion, but let's... We still have that option available next turn. To no longer have that option available. So Beta puts an Omega into the draw pile, we draw the Omega, we play the Omega. Tiny chest. Every 4th question mark room is a treasure room. Good morning, Meta Joke. As a general rule, Jake, I think there's almost In any given heart fight, there's almost always a way to do a little bit more damage, or to gain a little bit more block. Finding the optimal route is shockingly hard. So there's always room for a little bit of improvement. How good is Perseverance with Warp Tongs? It's okay. It's better with Vaults, and it would be even better if we got a Meditate. And that's still the piece this deck is missing, is a Meditate, to get it to do really, really silly things. Good luck with that meta joke. I hope your connection stays stable. I'm gonna pass on all this. Bowling Bash could be interesting, but I'm gonna pass on all that. Because I said so. Definitely feeling the Philo Stone on that turn. Damage per turn, I like it. Got him. Empty Body, Worship, Weave. Empty Body's like... okay. I don't really have a lot of use for Divinity. Not in the way the Worship gives it, anyway. Skip these two. How do I feel about Ancient Pot? Underwhelmed. What power does this deck want? I want the Scry of Return power. I don't want a Mental Fortress, at least not yet. I don't want... I want a lot of things. As it turns out. Do I dare play Indignation here? Could go badly. Or not Indignation, sorry, Simmering Fury here. Fasting, yeah, Fasting I do want. Just for the next game. Make all these defends way better. Draw 3 more cards, we draw 8 next turn, but we enter Wrath. Focus Stabbing will be weakened, doing 12 times 3 at most. It's not that bad, I got good potions. Nib on 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't pen nib that signature move, unfortunately. Not without using a potion anyway. If I Liquid Memories, I can just easily win. That's probably going to be the play. I'm going to go block heavy route too and try to like... nah, whatever. I'll just use the Liquid Memories here. It's way too brain hurty to do otherwise. Let's go strike, strike. Signature move, then Pendib's charge for the next fight. Pendib's charge for the next fight. Okay. So I'm just gonna vault. Do this. Oh, yeah! One Lizard Tail. When we would die, heal to half health. Second signature move, question mark. Kind of want to, but I am going to draw them both at the same time. At least once. Probably many times. I could take Tranquility. It's for like a way to leave Wrath. That sounds nice. We'll take a Tranquility. Right, McQuad? Signature move should not count other copies of itself. Be so nice. Oh, geez. Okay. That's a lot of damage. Okay, get Beta into play next turn. There's no reason to Simmering Fury. Like to draw the Omega. Okay. Rude. Can't you see that I'm busy here? Got him. Whetstone literally does not do anything. But it could upgrade the signature move. Second chance at an upgraded one. Do I want it? No. No, I don't. Thanks, Whetstone. You're a great relic. Take it for Loth value, pretty much, right? Nothing else we can... It makes the relic bar bigger. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Bolts. Ooh, so close to actually just like being lethal there. How do I evaluate Rushdown? Rushdown's pretty good. It's a very powerful card draw power. And you need to be able to enter Wrath multiple times during combat for it to be good. This deck is entering Wrath usually once per combat. We enter Wrath and then we play signature move, or we enter Wrath and it like somehow helps me get you know, Omega down. And we're not often doing more than that. If we add a little bit more stance switching, we're getting there with the Tranquility. Partly it's we don't have ways to leave Wrath once we get in there, so we can't re-enter the Wrath to get more card draw. But if you've got multiple, like, a couple empty bodies, you've got, you know, tantrums to go with, if you're switching back and forth to get energy from Calm Stance, then Rushdown is very, very good. Do I typically take Ritual Dagger on Watcher? Ritual Dagger is very good on Watcher, since she can scale it with her stances. It's not that hard for Watcher to do like 200 damage with a Ritual Dagger. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. I don't think I want any of this. Not even that Talk to the Hand. Not even. Alright, we'll upgrade the Alpha to be an 8 now. I'm relying a bit more on Omega for damage. Just a little bit more. Just vault? No, I actually want to block this. And then play the Omega when I'm not being attacked. Or being attacked for less, anyway. Rude. Okay, it's fine. Kerblam! No thank you to any of that. Running out of cards to upgrade. I'm just gonna recall here. Warp Tongues will get everything. Shame I can't pin him by signature move. I think I should still bonk the collector with it, though. Get damage in. As soon as we get Omega down, everything will be completely fine. Forever. As soon as I get Omega down. Oh, what's... I didn't even think about that. We can activate orange pellets with Omega. That's... yeah, that's a thing we can do. Playing the what's it called? Simmering Fury for the card draw here, because we can re-enter Calm Stance with Tranquility whenever we want to. GG. Easy peasy. Establishment makes these protects cheaper. It's not bad. These are the only retaining cards we have at the moment. Devotion is Divinity Stance with not retaining signature move. That's going to be difficult to light up. And the deck is almost entirely upgraded already, so Lesson Learned is not helpful, which means it's Establishment or Skip are the options. I'm pretty cool taking an Establishment and just having that so that we can activate orange pellets. If we get a Meditate, yes, it would be insane. We're looking now for, like, Tranquility. Anything with card draw? Anything else with Retain? Sure. So I was thinking we wanted a non-energy relic here, given that we just took a power that helps us get energy set up. Fusion Hammer denies us upgrades, which is, again, not a problem currently. Would I grab Perseverance now? Yeah, I think I would. I think we're at the point where Perseverance would be good enough to want to have. Holy Water gives us 3 miracles instead of 1 at start of combat. That's pretty good. Helps us get Omega down on the turn we need to. Helps us make sure we can afford to play a signature move. Other option is Sacred Bark, doubling the effectiveness of potions, which would allow us to have a 10 dexterity speed potion with orange pellets, so potentially plus 10 permanent dexterity in the heart fight. And I think we're doing okay in other fights right now. Let's take the Sacred Bark. Get those double strong potions. With 400 gold, a shop is... yeah, let's go to the shop. Shop would be great. Fight some elites. Have a good Act 3. What we're looking for in this act is maybe 1 or 2 more ways to scale our block up a little bit. Or to get our offense to be quicker. It's not going to be enough to get Omega in play against Heart. We have to be able to do more than that. Be able to do more than that. The chemical of the day. Chemical of the day is... What is it today? Barium is our element of the day. Number 59, I believe. Skip all that. Purple fire spirits dancing around a large bonfire. We can give up our alpha? So we could give up the establishment for 10 max health. I think we'll give up a strike, though. Get these stinky strikes out of here. There's the meditate we've been looking for. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand and retain it. And we've been saying no to these like waters for a long time, but it might be time to start. Other option here is Tori. When we would receive 5 or less unblocked attack damage, reduce it to 1, and that helps mitigate the onslaught of the heart with the Philo Stone. Worship could be good too. That's true, Maniac. Oh, we have Tungsten Rod, Tori. Hold on. Yeah, with the Tungsten Rod already, I can't not buy this, right? Can't not. Rufus SRK cashing in for that chem fact about barium. Heck yeah. Barium, our element of the day, is a silvery white, soft, alkali earth metal. Its name comes from the Greek word baris, meaning heavy. Barium, like many elements, is not found in a pure form in nature. Pure barium is incredibly reactive, and it bonds with almost any gases that it comes into contact with, which gives it a role in creating, in purifying vacuum tubes. When you're trying to create an airspace that has nothing left in it, because you need a vacuum for some reason. Introducing a small amount of a highly reactive chemical like barium helps act as essentially a magnet for all the gases that are still bouncing around in the tube. Definitely gonna take this Tori. So that's, honestly, that's the block game that we needed. We're good now. And I'm content to just meditate like water, and then be on our merry way. Last loss is not making any sense. We had a Watcher run. Yeah, the death didn't make much sense either. We had a Watcher run on Ascension 8, find an early copy of the Prismatic Shard that we bought. And we ended up with a really cool deck that was doing, like... There was a Doppelganger. We had a Master Reality, and we were using it to upgrade all sorts of cards, like with Creative AI. Really, really cool run. I recommend checking out the VOD of that one. But we ended up dying to Reptomancer after taking a copy of Scrape from Foreign Influence. And Scrape ended up discarding our Expunger that would have killed Reptomancer, which I didn't consider as a way to lose that fight, but lose the fight I did. Really wild deck that face-planted to Repto, ultimately. Youthless. Didn't learn enough about barium the first time. Barium sulfate crystals become highly phosphorescent if they have trace copper impurities, which is what led to the element's original discovery by Italian scientist Vincenzo Cassiorolo. He's a 17th century Italian alchemist, and he first noticed barium in the form of unusual pebbles that glowed for long periods of time after they were exposed to heat or light. He named these pebbles Bologna stones, after the Italian town of Bologna, which, yes, that is where we get the name bologna for processed meat. It's named after that same town. And they were later discovered to be barium sulfate. Sound like a bunch of bologna. It do. But yes, fortunately, despite the name, Bologna Stones is not a horrible medical condition, but rather the description of A unusual phenomenon. Do we even care about campfires? I guess we do a little bit. We want to get Meditate upgraded. Alcapanex says one more. Barium is today used in common X-ray medical technique called a lower gastrointestinal tract radiography, where barium is introduced to a patient's large intestines. Barium sulfate solution, so the body doesn't absorb it. This solution of barium sulfate appears opaque white on X-ray images. So by introducing this liquid to the intestines and then taking an X-ray, you get a very high contrast X-ray image of a patient's GI tract that allows you to scan for tumors, polyps, blockages, etc. This guy's work is baloney. We should bury him. Love it, Heligonian. I love it. Mr. Million, 777. Why don't towels tell jokes? Your sense of humor is too dry. Dunk one dagger there. Too dry, I tell you. Okay, we don't get the establishment down, which is upsetting. Ooh, extra upsetting. Save me, colorless potion. Double dark shackles? That's not too bad. Does help a bit. Does help a bit. That's a 16 block. Could have done Indignation for more energy there. Maybe I should have. Perhaps I should have. I'm really regretting not playing Establishment. That's for sure. Ouch. And Ape Cop, one last chem fact for the day. The average adult human body contains about 22 milligrams of barium, because barium is present in foods like carrots, onions, lettuce, beans, and cereal grains. Barium levels in your teeth can actually be used to help scientists determine when babies transition from breastfeeding to eating solid foods, apparently. The trace elements of barium in the human body appear to serve no biological role whatsoever and are not harmful. Hey there, Onion Knight. Who did the ghost take to prom? His ghoul friend. It's a good Halloween dad joke. I like that. Like that. Do I want to do 2 more elites? Honestly, not really. Say no. No, thank you. Meditate the... Meditate the nothing. Just stay in Wrath Stance forever, it's fine. Totally fine. Whoops. Wave of the Hand really makes our mitigation game quite a bit stronger by weakening things for all eternity. As they should be. Letter Opener. When you play 3 skills in 1 turn, deal damage to all enemies. I like it. Don't really want any of this. We're really just kind of doing one thing and doing it very, very well. I'm a little worried about our damage output against Heart, but we do have a +10 strength potion now as well with this flex pot. So with 2 incredibly powerful potions, we should be okay against Heart. Almost certainly. With great certitude. How did I manage to get to this point with almost no attacks? The signature move has been doing all the work. We've had it since Act 1. Signature move did, what, like 120... We killed Lagavulin instantly with 120 damage signature move. And that's been doing most of the work. We ended up with 2 curses in Act 1, and we chose to remove strikes before we removed curses, just to make the signature move more consistent. Yeah, prioritize removing strikes even over curses in the early game. That's right. Do I want to... I have 3 ways to intercom. There's no way that they could possibly murder me completely next turn, right? Maybe I'm better off not playing Simmering Fury. I want to. What hand would I have to draw to, like, die? Would never happen. See? Easy game. Yeah, we can dunk one with signature move and still play something or other. Ten times 2, 13. I still have to block for quite a bit here. Or I can just vault. Vaulting is also an option. I like vaulting. Yep, that definitely still just hurts, though. Definitely still just hurts. I think one more lake water, and that should be all the blocking we're gonna need. Double meditate? Oh, I'm so down for this. With the establishments, we can do some funky things now. Curious what that's gonna look like. Curious what that's gonna look like. That's perfect. 14 block at the end of our turn. This is a little awkward. It's too bad. Well, that's too bad. I don't have the ability to pellets away this constrict debuff right now, do I? I might have had that on a previous turn. Failed to take advantage. Omega Protect is basically a full block, though. Oh, Retungsten Rod. Makes us take 0 here. Good stuff. Strike. Cute, but no thank you. All of my gold, all 182 of it for the red mask applying 1 week on turn 1. I'll say no thank you to that. We'll upgrade our other like water here. Cash in all the calm. With 2 copies of like water, I'm not looking to cash in the calm. We just want to stay in calm all the time. But if we had a mental fortress or something, instead of the like water, the empty body would be great. How much is the red mask worth? It does depend a little bit on specifics, on how vulnerable you are to turn 1s, and how important artifact removal is for you. If I'm a Watcher deck who's got lots of copies of Talk to the Hand, I really care about the red mask, because it's going to strip artifact off of Spire Shield and Spire Spear, and I can get those Talk to the Hands in play. Okay, we're doing the alpha thing. Gonna take a decent chunk of damage here, unfortunately. Am I willing to pay to signature move? I don't know that I am. Say no. Uh-oh. These are not the cards I wanted to draw. Let's try to bail ourselves out with a colorless potion, and fail. Get 2 copies of Dramatic Entrance, which is cute, but not actually helpful. But I can go Indignation, play them both, and do at least some decent AoE here. And then we can meditate to get back into calm stance. We are going to take a ton of damage here. At least the Like Water will kick in. We'll take like 20. Am I willing to Simmering Fury? Simmering Fury might actually just get me killed. But it might actually save my life, too. Guess we'll find out what it's gonna do. Like a pretty okay turn. Get a second Like Water down, get Wave of the Hand to weaken them all. Surprisingly spooky situation. Drawing the Protects at the very bottom and the Establishment at the very bottom is a challenge here. We're going to weaken everything and reduce it by half? Okay, so this is a number that is decreasing sharply. I think I want to vault? Hope I want to vault. They all combine as a single activation for free. All powers that stack in Slay the Spire operate like this, where the numbers, rather than activating multiple times, the number stacks together. So if you have multiple metallicizes, that'll stack into one block number, multiple like waters stack into one block number, multiple feel no pains still only activates one time when you exhaust a card, so on and so forth. Let's see, so this is going to be... Weaken 1 with 3 strength. So this is a 6x4 base attack, so it's 9x4 normally. So this is actually a 6x4 once we're out of Wrath stance. And you're going to be attacking me for 8. So I have to block for 32 to stay alive. And we do that actually quite easily. Okay, so I don't need to... Well, when I say quite easily... What do I mean by that exactly? Oh, you're both dead? You're both dead if I do this. So Mega Meditate. That should keep me alive. Oh yeah. Big time, yes. Now we can start making every card in the deck really, really cheap with the Meditates. Meditate, and he attacked for quite a bit external. I'll take back my free protect. It made it vulnerable, I suppose. Yeah, we get into a cool, like, alternating into Wrath and Calm every turn now. With the two Meditates in the deck. I like it. Oops. It's definitely not the card I wanted to click on. That worked out fine, though. Definitely scared me for a second. GG. Two thump. Deep, pulsing dread felt throughout the room. Yeah, Tuxerod Tori does indeed have my back. Thank goodness. Get the establishment to be an 8 as well, so we can get that down on turn 1. Sounds very nice. Clockwork Souvenir can block a debuff for us, but we already have ways to do that. We can take a third Like Water, and a second Protect. Those would be pretty good. As long as I can figure out ways to do enough damage. It's our usual to start time for Saturday's Mathematician. We try to start on at noon Eastern Standard Time. Ah, UK. So somebody else was talking about that. Yeah, UK changed clocks recently, so I have teleported through time. from the perspective of some individuals. Before I jump into any more decisions here, I'm going to take a quick break, refill my water, stretch my legs, and then we'll return refreshed to the run. So don't go anywhere, I'll be right back, everybody. See you all in just a moment. Alrighty, everybody, we are back. So much for that patience. Definitely tempting to pick up Protect Like Water.
4 months of support. We are extremely impressed.
Thank you so much for those 4 months of Twitch Prime support. Heckin' appreciate it, and Baylor, love to you as well. Let's just add more copies of Like Water. And we can then remove a card too. No need for any of these relics. Maybe a potion? If I have enough money left for the Gambler's Brew, that'd be nice, but I don't think I will. Strongly considering removing one of the Wrath cards, maybe the Indignation here. As I'm not using it. And I'm not valuing the Clockwork Souvenir very much because we have the orange pellets to remove all our debuffs anyway. Centennial Puzzle pretty good, although we're going to struggle to activate it with the Tungsten Rod and the Torii, right? Yeah, I'm just going to go removal Strikes are pretty bad too. I'm gonna remove the strike, actually. And then I don't have enough money for anything. Okay. Cool. Fine by me.
Commander, the aliens are
Fair
disturbing.
on Ferret, thank you so much for those 5 months of Twitch Prime support. Very ridiculously appreciated. 1 more month till that shiny ironclad energy badge in 6 months. So I failed to draw any block cards on turn 1, which means I can't actually apply Weaken with Wave of the Hand. Oh well. The big oof. Can do that next turn. That's more like it. The big oof. Let's go signature move vault here. Ah, we're sacking. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So Meditate gets back other Meditate, of course, and for that turn I'm probably going to want Indignation. 2 more energy. Hey buddy, I hear that you like water. Let's see, this is going to be 30 damage-ish total. Should be blocking already. Give me Meditate plus and Omega coming down next turn. Let's take this Evaluate. Make that free as well. As we keep meditating cards, the cards keep becoming free by virtue of establishment here. You start to get up to some hot shenanigans. Shenanigans of the most hottest variety. Kerblam! Ornamental Fan, if we somehow manage to play 3 attacks in 1 turn, we'll gain some block. It seems really unlikely. This Tantrum could be really good, actually. Because we're going to have 10 points of strength for the Heart Fight, and we do need a little bit more help. I like it. I'll take a Tantrum here. I like it a lot. Oh, perfect. And we drew it on turn 1, which is great. Means I get to, A, do a ton of damage with it. We have Sacred Bark, and a Speed Potion, and a Lex Potion, which give us 10 each of Strength and Dexterity. That is many strong. That is very many strong. We just play a skill of power and an attack. And we get to keep that 10 strength and that 10 dex for the entirety of this fight. Okay, very nice. She's just gonna vault this. Hold on to this protect. Don't play Indignation, don't play Indignation. better. To double up this signature move damage. Get to go back into Bomb's Dance. Didn't draw any powers to activate the orange pellets again to get rid of these debuffs, but that's okay. We can meditate the meditate and begin the cycle of nonsense. Perfect. Protect second to last, and then meditate last. Think back, meditate, and... signature move? I mean, we can't take damage next turn. Let's focus on dealing it. Focus on dealing it. Just play the signature move. Not a whole lot to do here, huh? Nice try, nerd. Okay, you're a little bit late on the whole activating orange pellets thing, deck. That's okay. We have enough help. And we get the Like Waters down now. Let's keep playing Tantrum because it does like 50 damage. And then allows me to double up signature move for 100 damage. Which seems like an appropriate amount to do. Keep taking back signature move. We need to block next turn. Take a protect, please. How's it going, Endergrim? Protects her 22 block currently. Wow. That is many Blanc. Getting back, you guessed it, meditate. And let's say signature move again this time, yeah? Oh dear. It's an awful lot of damage. It sure would be a shame if I forgot to play any block cards whatsoever. Wouldn't it? Ah! Got him. GG. GG. That was a fun one. Very, very unusual combination. The signature move Omega deck being the two big pieces of this deck's damage. Worked out shockingly well. GG. Shockingly well, yes. Absolutely that. That's the one. That's the one. Has it been done? Spire meditates.